Exclusive eyes. Dear heaven, Mother Earth, planets, stars, galaxies, universes, Tao saints, holy saints, divine saints, archangels, holy angels, divine angels, lamas, gurus, and kahunas, spiritual fathers and mothers in heaven and on Mother Earth. We love you, honor you, appreciate, and bow down. Please give us inner wisdom, flow your wisdom, knowledge, and techniques of the soul and spirit to us. We are very grateful to you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's connect with the higher self and divine soul. Let's do the invocation. Thou majestic presence, infinite creator of all there is, the greater I am, visible and invisible, manifest and unmanifest. We rejoice in thy great and mighty presence, that thou hast made us aware of thy limitless power, thy infinite intelligence, the eternal youth and beauty. We give praise and thanks that we have become so aware of thy great opulence, the great abundance that we feel it like a mighty river in our hands and use. Thou mighty endless source, thou ceaseless stream, thou hast made us aware that I am the mighty power of precipitation. We bow before there in adoration and full acceptance of thy mighty presence and power. I bring you greetings from the great host, and the great light of the illumined ones is growing rapidly strong. The discourse begins. Now, these are one-liners given by them to chant. So if you all want to write, otherwise maybe later. I am the resurrection and the life is the first one. I am the energy you use in every action. I am the light illumining every cell of your being. I am the intelligence, wisdom directing your every effort. I am the substance, omnipresent, without limit, which you may use and bring into form without any limit. I am thy strength, thy perfect understanding. I am the ability to apply it constantly. I am the truth, now perfect freedom. I am the open doorway into the light of God that never fails. I give praise I have entered into this light, fully using that perfect understanding. I am thy sight and sees all things visible and invisible. I am thy hearing, listening to the bells of freedom, which I hear now. I am thy ability, sensing the most ravishing fragrance at will. I am the completeness of all perfection you ever wish to manifest. I am the full understanding, power, and use of all this perfection. I am the full revelation and use of all the powers of my being, which I am. I am the love, the mighty motive power back of all actions. I wish to give the most kindly warning to the students under this radiation to watch every feeling, that at no time anyone accept a feeling of jealousy at the progress of another. Let me read that. So we have to watch out that we are not jealous of others. It's very important. I wish to give the most kindly warning to the students under this radiation to watch every feeling, that at no time anyone accept a feeling of jealousy at the progress of another. Each student must always remember that he has no concern whatsoever with the other student, except to know that I am the God presence there in action. For one student to wonder and question in his own mind about the progress of another is most retarding and it is never admissible. So, what they're saying is that sometimes people want to know how the other person is doing in terms of progress where spirituality is concerned, where compare notes, where I am, where you are. That shouldn't be done. Each student must understand that this only concerns is the harmonizing, quickening, and expansion of his own mind and world. So all you have to do is harmonize and expand and quicken. Means quicken your journey in your own mind and world. You don't have to be concerned about others. Don't no need to compare or no need to say, oh, that person must improve or this person must improve. You have to improve. That's it. The sooner students understand that the one imperative demand of God law of their being is harmony of the mind and feeling, the quicker will perfection manifest. So, in short, the universal law of universal service is first is love, next is peace, the third is forgiveness. Sorry, love, forgiveness, peace. It's love, forgiveness, peace, healing, blessings, and harmony, and then enlightenment. So harmony, if there's no harmony anywhere, there's no enlightenment, no expansion, no perfection. Without this being maintained, they cannot go beyond a certain state of progress. If there's no harmony within, you cannot go to a certain stage of progress. As soon as the student realizes this and begin to use the I am presence, commanding the harmony and silence of the outer activity, they will find that they can see, feel, and be perfection, which they so much desire. So the moment you sort of are harmonious, you will feel in all your actions and everything that you are perfection. When students and friends have a deep, sincere love for each other, which is not inquisitiveness, that love is the greatest blessing and uplifting power. So instead of, just to probe into somebody's matter and being inquisitive, when we are truly having love for each other, then there was an overall progress everywhere. When students and friends have a deep, sincere love for each other, which is not inquisitiveness, that love is the greatest blessing and uplifting power. Here is one criterion by which a student may gauge himself at all times, determining what is the power acting. If one feels critical, inquisitive, or out of harmony towards a person, place, condition, or thing, it is a sure signal that the outer self is acting. So if you want to know who's acting, the outer or the inner, all the time, then you should know, are you critical of somebody? Are you jealous of somebody? Are you inquisitive? Are you out of harmony with any person, even with yourself, if you're out of harmony? If you're out of harmony means your outer personality is working, the inner I am is not working. Inner I am is not working. The outer harmony is working. So this is very important. If you are critical, if you are inquisitive, if you are in any way having any discord in your heart, mind, that means your outer personality is working, your inner I am is not working at all. You're not in oneness with the I am. You're not in harmony. Everyone you can only be a master when you are in harmony and in I amness all the time. This is so very important. Everyone, especially students, must realize that they have only one thing to do, and that is to feel, see, and be perfection in their own worlds. They don't even have to see whether their brother is perfect, your mother is perfect, the husband is perfect, their mother in law is perfect. No, you have to be perfect in your own world. This is so very important, is the reason I'm stressing it so much at this time. See, हर एक चैप्टर में वही बोलता है गोल गोल फिर के. You have to be focused on your I am, in short. But फिर के. So this is so very important. Is the reason I'm stressing it so much at this time, because as students begin to experience unusual manifestation through their efforts, there's always that suggestion at first which will say to the individual, I am able to use the law better than the other person. This, without my saying, is a big mistake. So the moment you start feeling I am special, it's a big mistake. Oh, I can remember. Oh, I can see better. I can see third eye pictures better. No, no, all this is required. I'm not saying no, but the moment you feel you're special or you are the better one, finish. Everything goes down the drain, your spiritual journey. One cannot long use the statement, I am even intellectually, until he begins to feel a deeper and deeper conviction that I am all things. Think often that these two marvelous words mean, and always couple it with the use of these two words, the statement that when I say I am setting in motion the limitless power of God in whatever I couple the expression I am with. So, whatever you are coupling your expression with I am is going to set forth the limitless power of God. So, now today, Farouk's body was aching and he had his throat, the throat was bad. Farouk, what will you be saying when somebody says, how are you, Farouk? Farouk, you're there? Can you unmute and say what you have to say? Farouk, unmute and talk. We can't hear you if you're muted. Can you unmute? He's struggling. Okay, forget it. So all you have to say is this throat is paining. You can't say my throat is paining or I am having a sore throat. You cannot say that. Yeah, what will you be saying?
This throat is paining.
This throat is paining. You cannot put the I am on something which is not of a higher frequency, because then that will precipitate. So in the scriptural statement, before Abraham was I am. The Abraham represents the outer expressions of life, and I am represents the principle of life, which was expressing through Abraham. So before Jesus, I am that way. So then Jesus is the I am is the main principle, and Jesus was the outer expression. So thus there was the perfection of life before any manifestation ever occurred, and thus is life without beginning and without end. Meaning, with this I am was the beginning, the I am is the end of all life. My beloved student, my heart rejoices exceedingly in the nearness with which some of you are feeling the conviction of this majestic presence, I am, which you are. Do your utmost to feel calmly serene, and if you cannot see it otherwise, shut your eyes and see perfection everywhere. More and more there will come to you proof of the marvelous presence of this truth. You will hear, feel, see, and experience that marvel of all marvels, which as children you have lived in miracles performed. So as children, we see many miracles, right? Happening. Oh, this happened, oh, that happened. We really see many, many miracles. And as we grow, we sort of become so logical but in my life, nothing like that. Huh? In my life is full of miracles. Every moment is a miracle for me. So but generally, when people as they grow, they sort of get so weary and tired and they don't see lesser miracles in life. So there have been written for you benefit descriptions and explanation of the use of the mighty I am presence. You who hold fast to the truth will come into the threefold action: seeing, hearing, and experiencing. These so-called miracles. Miracles until you understand their operation, and then majestic, simple truths, which you may forever apply when once understood. So do you all want to talk about some miracle in your life? Yeah, any miracle. Anybody wants to say a miracle story in your life? Anybody has a miracle story to say? No, nobody has a single miracle. How sad it is. Yeah, Rita, come on. Unmute yourself and say, what is your miracle story? Unmute. Just press that mic button and unmute. And say, I am the power who can press the mic button and unmute it. You'll do it. It's down. See this arrow? You are on Zoom now. On Zoom, there is a mic button. You're seeing this mic button. I have to show you. Down there's a mic button on Zoom. Okay, you struggle for the mic button. Till then, I'm going to tell you a story of my life. So all of us had gone to to America, and we had the buddy tickets. So this was again with our previous Guruji, and we had buddy tickets. So when we were returning from Australia to Germany, and then Germany airport was full of buddies because for a week the buddies were on the aeroplane and couldn't get through. So my niece who gave the buddy ticket to me, means that was Farooq's sister's daughter. She was an air hostess at that time. So she had given us a ticket. So when she came, she said, no chance of you all getting any flight home. But one person was called from our group, and left was my Guruji and I. So I told, when Guruji's name came, I said, you go, I'll remain last. I didn't go first. I let him go. So then there were four other Indians left. So we stuck around. I stuck around with them nicely. And we had little money also at that time. So at night I went and asked for a cup of coffee. And those people said something, itna, itna, some pranks. And I calculated, Indian minds. I said, oh my God, at that time, 700 for a coffee? No ways, I'm having a cup of coffee, 700 bucks, who wants to spend? And I sat and started praying. I said, no, thank you. And I started praying. And at around 10 o'clock, that person comes with a big plate with a pot of coffee, milk, bread rolls, butter, sugar, everything. And all of us eat it. That was one miracle. And then next day morning on the German airport, there's always a prayer time. If you all have been to Germany, there's a prayer time. So everybody prayed. So I made the group do a meditation on Om Namah Shivaya, which my Guruji had taught me. So here you put one hand like this, and the person next to you puts his hand on top of your palm, and here you put this hand like this. So, and then we chanted Om Namah Shivaya, and we all manifested that we all should be taken home on the plane. And then when we went to the terminal where we were called to say, it was, for example, just for the sake of narration, I'm saying, suppose we were on Terminal E, where the Indian flight was parked. So there we saw, my God, hall full of buddies were there, hall full of buddies. And it goes via seniority. Do you know, if your buddy, the person who's given to you ticket is a senior, then your chance comes first that way. So all of us said, no ways. And these people were saying, "How what a stupid thing she'd made us do this, and nothing is working." So all of them started making plans of how they'll take a flight, but I didn't even have the money at that time. So, and I had to go to work the very following day because the person who was in the bank, my officer, was now no longer his transition. But at that time, he had made my life difficult. And he said, if you don't come, return on this date, I will see that you are out of your job. So I was very scared, and I kept on praying and praying and praying. And suddenly my name was announced. One person's name was announced, and then my name was announced. And I went and got my seat. I didn't know how. And then everybody's names was announced, and the whole lot of buddies were taken in. And I was crying and crying when I went to the aeroplane. Then, when my niece came back from Germany or from her flight, she said the miracle which happened was this, that this flight, which was about to take off from Germany, was connected with a flight of London flight. The London flight had arrived in Germany on time, but the person the driver who had to take them from from terminal A to terminal say E, because we were at terminal E, he took them at terminal D, which was absolutely at the other end of the airport. And therefore those London people, the whole lot could not aboard board the plane, and we flew instead of them. All the buddies flew instead of them. And it was a real life miracle for me. And next morning, I went to work, and I was in cash department. So I told my second in charge, I was the cashier in charge, and I told this second in charge, take the keys, you are in charge, I'm going to sleep. And I slept in the bank. In one corner, I went and slept for some time because I came so late at home, and then straight to work at by 8 I had to reach work, so it was very difficult. So miracles happen, and like that, so many miracles in my life have happened. I tell you, I'm really grateful, and I so much look forward to more miracles in my life. So, Rita, yes, you can talk about miracles.
I can talk.
Yeah, talk.
Yes, I can talk. Okay. You know that book of ours, which has got one of the miracles written in it. Um, I I read that again and again, and I prayed to God that this miracle should happen in my life. I want a solution for my problems without any fighting, irritation. Just everything should go smooth. And how it would go like that after 11 years, I couldn't understand. But they also said, you don't think about it. When you've left it to God, then you leave it to Him and you don't keep on thinking about it. He will do the miracle.
Mm.
And actually, that is what happened.
Wow.
Something out of the blue, He sent me a notice,
Yeah.
and then I had to go to the court. Like I was forced. I didn't want to go, but I had to go. And the judge took a judgment, and he took a judgment that I should leave that place and give it back to my brother.
Yeah.
So I
In
agreed with it.
compensation.
Compensation, yeah, with compensation. So it was so beautiful. Actually, I did not say a word. No anger after 11, 12 years of all this fighting and
Mm.
saying irritation and all that.
Mm.
Nothing. It went smooth like a cake. I can't tell you.
Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm also expecting a miracle now. This one of you will open your cameras and I can see your faces because I don't like to see these black walls. Thank you, Tejan. So there have been written for your benefit descriptions and explanations of the use of this mighty I am presence. You who hold fast to the truth will come into the threefold action, seeing, hearing, and experiencing these so called miracles. Miracles until you understand their operation, and then majestic, simple truths, which you may forever apply when once understood. With all my centuries of experience, I cannot help but say to you, as encouragement, that my heart leaps with joy at the nearness with which some of you are grasping the scepter of dominion. Go forward, my brave ones. Do not hesitate. Grasp your scepter of dominion. Raise it, for I am the scepter, the quenchless flame, the dazzling light, the perfection which you once knew. Come, let me hold you in my strong embrace, that where there have been so long two, there will only be one I am. I am the knower, the doer, the perfection expressed now. So beautiful this is. Where there has been two, that is what Saint German is saying. That where there has been two, just now there's the outer self and the I am we are talking about. So where there's been two, there'll be only one. Actually, Sanjeev ji has been so upset with this book that they are talking of duality all the time. I wish he was here to listen to this parrot. That is what they are trying to get us at, oneness. I again speak to the individual wanting so much to have their problems solved. There is only one presence in the universe that can or ever does solve any problems. That is the I am presence, everywhere present. Beloved ones, let me say in all kindness, there is no use just seeking to have a problem solved. We go to God or we tell I am solve this problem. There's no use for that, because because where one was, a dozen may appear. So you solve one problem, another will appear. So where one was, dozen may appear. But when you know the perfect attitude is to enter into the I am presence, knowing it is the unquestionable solver. It's this will solve everything of every problem. You will, as surely as I am telling you, cause all problems to disappear. So here we are trying to solve one problem, then solve another problem. We are not here to do that. You just completely enter your I am, and there'll be no problem at all. That's what they're saying. It is the unquestionable solver of every problem. You will, as surely as I am telling you, cause all problems to disappear. And why will you cause the problems to disappear? Because, as I always say, that there's nothing like a problem. It's only that you are smaller than the problem, then there's a problem. If you are bigger than the problem, you can always resolve whatever is coming your way. Okay? For where you live constantly, calmly, and with sufficient determination in the I am presence, instead of having many appear where one has been solved, you will have entered into a state where there are none. So there are so many problems. We'll be going on solving this one and that one, that one. Your whole life will go in problem solving. Instead of that, let's have come to a state where there are no problems. I command the power in these words today to carry for everyone who hears or reads them the true conviction and understanding back of them. For the brain, you have to say, I am the quickening of the cells of this brain structure, causing it to expand and receive the intelligent direction of the mighty inner presence. You must know that you have the power through the I am presence to consciously qualify your thought in whatever way you will. There is not NAUGHT. There is not to say what you shall do, for you are a free being of the free will. If you could be conscious of every thought that passed through your mind for 6 weeks and keep it qualified with perfection, you will see the most amazing results. This is very nice. What does it say? If you could be conscious of every thought, if you could be conscious of every thought, 1 minute, that passed through your mind for 6 weeks, and keep it qualified. Keep it qualified means do not have a negative thought. Keep it qualified with perfection. You would see the most amazing results. Say often, I am the master within, governing and controlling all my thoughts, processes in full Christ perfection, as I wish them today. Wish them to be. I am the master within, governing and controlling all my thought processes in full Christ perfection, as I wish them to be. The Christ means the higher self. Blessing and holding others in the light. When you bless others or visualize them in the light, there is a double activity of quality you send out. In doing this, there's a certain amount of protection that is the automatic result, but the thought and quality in the light and blessing registers principally within one's own consciousness, at the same time intensifies that quality in the one to whom it is sent. So first, whatever you are sending, if you're blessing, it registers in you more. And then it's sort of, when you're projecting it, it intensifies and then it goes to that person also so much. Take the eternal stand that I am what I want to be. I must use the I am presence consciously always. Rarely, even among students, have they realized deeply what the I am presence meant. Only occasionally has any real comprehension of the I am come forth, except in the retreats of the ascended masters. So even in students, they really don't understand the deeper meaning of I am, except at the retreats, these retreats which they are having. Then when they are in that electronic, under that electronic belt, the radiation, that is the time they find the deeper meaning of I am. Jesus was the first to stress it to the outer world. So Jesus Christ was the first who kept on talking about the I am. I urge you earnestly, do not give any consideration to the element of time. Manifestation must come instantly when you give the I am presence freedom enough. So when you say, no, abhi chahiye, yes, I want it now, but don't be stressed why it didn't come. I manifested it for now. It has not come. It's not work. All that you don't have to do. You just release it. Release it and it will happen. Release it and see, you have to release it out of your system completely. If you want the balloon to fly, also you have to release it. Then it will go high up in the air. So you have to release. You have to think any wish you want to manifest, put it in a nice pink golden color, pinkish golden color balloon, and put your wish and release it to the universe. It isn't when you release something, you get it. So take the eternal stand that I am what I want to be. You must use the I am presence consciously always. Rarely, even among students, have they realized deeply what the I am presence meant. Only occasionally has any real comprehension of I am come forth, except in the retreats of the ascended masters. Jesus was the first to stress it to the outer world. I urge you earnestly, do not give any consideration to the element of time. Manifestation must come instantly when you give the I am presence freedom enough. Go on, apply no, and let the I am presence take care of the element of time. When you make a declaration of truth and stick to it, you must receive. When you make a declaration of truth and stick to it, you must receive. The outer has no power of itself at all. Its duty is simply to know that I am presence is acting. Sometimes, without being aware of it, the outer self is looking for the time of manifestation. So many times we may not be aware, but we still are looking कि मेरा वो सोचा था manifestation हुआ कि नहीं. You sometimes are subconsciously looking. I can convey to you the conviction and feeling that when you command as the I am presence, Almighty God moves into action. Remember at all times that when you are dealing with personalities, you are dealing with the outer human creation, and you have all right and power to command its silence and obedience, whether it is in your own outer self or someone else. If you will count 10 before you speak, you can control all sudden impulse, and back of this is a mighty law which can help the student immensely. So they're saying if something comes up, you don't have to immediately and give a response. You can count till 10, and when you pause like that, what happens? In all pauses, there's divine intervention. So this is the mighty law. So if you will count 10 before you speak, you can control all sudden impulses. What you want to give back as your outer self, it's not like that. You don't have to do that. You count 10 and take a pause. And back of this is a mighty law which can help the student immensely. When there is a sudden impulse, there is a release or rushing forward of accumulated energy. When you give a sudden, like saying to somebody says something and you give a one big sudden impulse to it, the energy is rushed back. So if there be anger, then energy is instantly qualified with it, or with destruction of some kind. The power of self-control would say only God perfection goes forth. So so when you pause and say, let only God's perfection go forth from you. Whatever is going out should be only God's perfection. This will handle any condition of uncontrolled impulses with which the individual is contending. When the student has already let something go forth that is undesirable, then the thing to do is to consciously consume it instantly. Means if you have done something wrong, immediately you have to consume it means constantly burn it under the violet fire or ask for forgiveness. These two things you must immediately do. If you find that you're doing something wrong, I think 1 or 2 nights back, I did do something wrong. And yesterday I was feeling very uncomfortable with it, something. And then I just sat quietly and I came to that point and I immediately burned it in the violet fire and asked for deepest forgiveness. And when I did that, then I was okay in my being. Because when you immediately do it, then it is good. But if you let it settle down in you, then it will precipitate more and you will attract more of negativity. So it's not right. The power of self-control would say, oh, only God's perfection goes forth. This will handle any condition of uncontrolled impulses with which the individual is contending. When the student has already let something go forth that is undesirable, then the thing to do is to consciously consume it instantly. The constant use of God bless this, directed to the animate things bring amazing accomplishments. The easy way to see and feel perfection is to qualify every thought and feeling going forth with perfection. So when you're thinking, say this thought has to be of perfection. If it's an imperfect thought, violet fire immediately, or put a violet paint on it, a violet paint and burn it out, paint it out, make a nice blank screen again. When an impulse comes to do anything, instantly qualify it with perfection. Story of the engine in a small town. The whistle is the warning. The I am is the control of the engine. The ordinary human being would not think of running over children and killing them. Yet he releases wrongly qualified energy in thought, feeling, and words that kill the higher impulses in others. So we would not shoot anybody, we would not kill anybody, but we are having such negative thoughts in us for others that we kill the higher impulses in the opposite person. So if your personality is not controlled and governed, it has the same qualities as all outer, all other outer selves of personality. But your I am presence is the perfect control of it. So what it is saying is that even if you're not in control of your thoughts and your feelings, then it's as good as killing so many children, because it's like you have killed so many good high impulses in others. That is not good. There is not more tragic in the world than for one person to hold the thought of limitation over another human being. So to hold the thought of limitation means when you think of the other person as mean, who has not learned lessons in life, if you hold the thought that person is so bad, selfish. So when this is a thought of limitation for others you are holding. A thought of imperfection driven at a sensitive person sometimes limits that one for years, and many times the results are very tragic. So when you are holding such a powerful negative thought for the opposite person, it sort of limits that person for many years. So that is one thing it can happen. And if that person is a prayerful person, the thought can deflect back to you and it will limit you also. And any thought which passes through you, you go through that same negativity. So you have to be very careful. So a thought of imperfection driven at a sensitive person sometimes limits that one for years, and many times the results are very tragic. We must all give everyone his complete freedom mentally. If you speak of freedom for yourself, be sure and give it first to everyone else. When there is a condition in another that you wish to help, use the following. I am the perfect manifestation there. So if you feel, oh, my mother-in-law is like that, my brother-in-law is like that, my sister is like that, my daughter is like that, my daughter-in-law is like that, if you have any of these sort of feelings, all you have to say, I am the perfect manifestation there. The principle within both energy and substance is the same. Substance holds energy within it naturally. The heart center of substance is intelligent action. Vibration in its natural state is pure, always. Vibration is energy in action and must be qualified. The pulsation in all substance is the breath of God acting. Think when breathing, I am the perfect energy of every breath I breathe. I am the pure atmosphere of my world. From the habit of constantly qualifying your world with perfection, the old habit of thinking imperfection has filled your world in the past. Now the important thing is to self-conscious that you are filling your world with perfection all the time. Stand on your feet the first thing in the morning and say with feeling, I am the presence, filling my world with perfection this day. We all have to say this. I am the presence, filling my world with perfection this day. I am the presence, filling the world, filling my world with perfection this day. Do not be concerned about personality. To take the stand, I am perfection acting through my official would impel the I am power and action there. The first thing in the morning, say, I qualify everything in my world this day with perfection because I am perfection. I qualify this mind and body with absolute perfection and refuse acceptance of anything else. I am the miracle and I am the presence compelling its manifestation through divine love, wisdom, and power. When individuals come and ask about certain use of the laws, always preface your statement with, "You are an individual of free will, but this is the way I feel about it." What is required for the expression of the light of one person may be entirely different from that for someone else. You cannot expand so long as you have an opinion about everyone else, about anyone else. So when you are opinionated, what is the, when you form opinions about others all the time. So when you are in that sort of a mode where you are forming opinions about others, then it is very difficult for you to expand. Then it is very difficult for you to expand in life. So what is required for the expansion of the light of one person may be entirely different from that for someone else. You cannot expand so long as you have an opinion about anyone else. It is stifling to your own progress. You're stifling your own progress. There is a time comes with everyone when he must stand up and face himself, his outer creation, then say this: whatever there is of imperfection left in me has to get out. Whatever there is of imperfection left in me has to get out. Your constructive desire is God in action doing the thing. Your desire holds the power or energy of the I am to the attention on things you desire to do. So wherever there's an object and wherever you desire that object, you are putting the energy of I am to that what you desire. So I am the full revelation and perfect application for precipitation what I desire, and I do know what is the perfect thing to do in the outer self while precipitating. So main thing is the chaos comes when people themselves really don't know what they want in life. So it is very important to know this. I am the full revelation and perfect application for precipitating what I desire. So what you desire first you must know, and then you must say this. And I do know what is the perfect thing to do in outer self while precipitating it. So while wanting it, I know how I'll handle it in my outer self. Say often, I am the precipitating presence of this thing. Do not be anxious. Just know calm calm certainty. When you are conscious of the I am acting, you know it is moving forward. Do not let in the sense of disappointment. Rather say, I am the perfect harmony of thought, feeling, and action. What must you say? I am the perfect harmony of my thought, feeling, and action. I am the perfect harmony of my thought, feeling, and action. Out of thy pure essence we receive now and forever thy strength, the wisdom. This is a benediction. Please follow me. Out of thy pure essence we receive now and forever thy strength, thy wisdom, thy understanding, application of the great and marvelous law, that we may produce and maintain thy perfection in each life, each life, mind, body, home, and world. Okay, wonderful. So that's it. We have finished chapter 13 today. So tomorrow we will start with chapter 14. So in short, we never ever hold an opinion for anybody else, or we do not think we send negative thoughts to anybody else. You'll be just lost in your own I am. At the same time, you do not force your free will on anybody else. And you don't force yourself on anybody else's free will. So these are the things we need to remember. And the I am statements are really very powerful. so we can start saying. I think I'll have to start posting a few more. Thank you. Okay, love you all. Take care. God bless. Love you, Tejal. Love you, Richa. Love you, Rita,
Thank
Salima.
you, Master.
Thank you.
You all.
Thank you very much.